we kill, that over there?
Welcome back, folks. The Let's Play Baldur's Gate
now?
2, the Enhanced Edition, The Shadows of Arm. And when last we left off, I'd like to say that the entire party took care of that Beholder dungeon, but in truth it was 99% Korgan. The party only really helped out when there was some drow, and the 2 instances of the Elder Orbs, which really require the entire party's attention. We're going to rest out here just beyond the gates of Usnartha because it doesn't cost us any money to do so, and I'm going to prepare, instead of this fireball, a monster summoning 1. This is going to be important for something that we're going to do in a little bit. Now let's get resting and hope we don't get an encounter. And there was no encounter. Curious fact, this is a place where you can get encounters of lizard men in quite large quantities, and they can drop some pretty neat stuff, including high-level spell scrolls. The more you know. Now that we've rested, it's time to go and talk to Solophine. We're not going to speak to Faeyr directly because, as you remember that we were told before, we should speak to people of equal rank and only to people of higher rank when we're told to. So let's talk to Solophine.
I do what I must, when I must. Know this well.
Don't talk to me. Faeyr dragged us here, and she has told me nothing. You are unfortunate enough to have her favour. Pry her plans from her. We're not going to get anything from him, so let's talk to Faeyr instead.
Ah, it is you again.
Ah, you have finally come. Good. Your timing is excellent, as I had just arrived here recently myself. I trust you are ready to leave presently. I don't think you're being sincere there, because we saw you here before, when we popped out and rested outside the city for 8 hours. Maybe you're just being polite, which makes me wonder why you're being so polite to me. The plot thickens. What exactly are we to be ready for, Faeyr? Why have you brought us out here? Is this some fool ambition of yours? None of my ambitions are foolish, Solophine, and we are here to perform a service for the good of the city and the matron mother. I wasn't aware Mother Ardulus did anything for the good of the city. Silence! You will obey, male! An eye tyrant, a beholder, is in the city smuggling adamantite. The matrons have decided we are to kill it. What is this? Did you say we? I did. I am to join you in this duty. The eye tyrant has come on his spelljammer ship near here. Solophine and I will go and scout it out, alone. Veldran, I trust you can find your own way to the ship. It is off one of the platforms in the southeast of Usnartha. Do not take too long to catch up. Come, Solophine, we can catch up on old times. We'll most certainly make sure the grip's all right when we actually have an encounter, which won't be too far in the future. We do have a little bit of time, and we'll use this time well to do some buying and selling, because our inventory does have a few things that we want to get rid of, which means swapping over to the charisma hat and the charisma ring that Dawn so kindly holds on to.
Yeah.
There we go. We'll speak with you.
Do not question the matron mothers.
There we go. Now we want to open up the gem bag first and get rid of all of these gems. There we go. Small amount of money. Then we'll open up this bag here. Even less in there, but there should be a little bit in Dragomir's Respite. Scroll all the way down. We can get rid of this, this. We'll keep the bone blade. Actually, do we want to keep the bone blade? Maybe. It is a +4 weapon. The blade of searing, we're not going to be using that. That we can definitely sell. And I think that will do. Sell all that. Close the container, and we'll open up this one and get rid of all of these that we looted in the Beholder dungeon. There we go, 2,000. And that's not bad. We have 72,469 and nothing that we need to buy, at least not right now. So you can have all this back and we'll make our way over to where we need to be. We were told that we needed to go to the southeast part of the city. this area.
Whatever you desire.
And while the game is really bigging up this encounter, it's really not that tricky. It is just one beholder. It's not even an elder or beholder, it's just a normal beholder. And we've taken care of loads of them just recently, so one of them isn't going to be too much of an issue. The most danger we have to face here is that the beholder might target someone like, say, Edwin, and deal quite a bit of damage, but as long as we have Corgan very close to where the beholder's going to appear, which is here, and the rest of the party a long way away, we should be alright.
I'm waiting very
Now let us go and speak to Solifine again, as before.
I do what I must, when I must. Know this well.
My mind is occupied with thoughts of the future, and I have no time for idle chatter. Fair enough, then let us speak to Faeyr.
Most disagreeable.
Ah, it is you again.
Veldren, finally. We have been watching the crew leave the ship for their rest, and I suspect the Eye Tyrant is soon to follow. We must be ready. Concentrate all your effort upon the Eye Tyrant, Veldren, and do not bring harm to Faeyr or me. Such accidents happen far too often for my liking. Indeed. Although I can... Wait, be still. It comes, I sense it. Be ready. Oh, we will be. We're going to be ready by getting far, far away. Here is the beholder, who will immediately start attacking Corgan, and that was not a smart decision. Any swing now?
Brilliant victory. The Spider Queen smiles on us today. We have spat in the great eye of the Eye Tyrants, and lived to tell the tale.
This really isn't anything, Solifine. You should go to the Beholder dungeon just outside the city. Indeed. Well done. Do not disturb the carcass, however. There will be several acolytes coming to deal with it. Deal with it? What do you speak of, Faeyr? Why would acolytes wish to do anything with the corpse of an Eye Tyrant? Ask me no questions, Solifine. We shall return to report to the Matron Mothers. Veldren, I will see you again in the tavern within 3 days. What is going on here, Faeyr? This is too suspicious. Do as you are commanded, male, and live. Veldren, journey about the city at your will, but remember our meeting. Do not be late.
Yeah.
3 days is more than enough for all that we want to do. And what do we want to do? We want to leave this place again and go and check out the second of the 3 dungeons in the main Underdark area. And that one will be the Kuatoa dungeon. I don't think you have a time limit for dealing with the one you decide to tackle for the plot, so getting rid of the other 2 beforehand is really effective, in that once you've dealt with the one for the plot, you don't have too much more to focus on, apart from the main storyline. Now let's go out, because the rest of the party is
You
here.
must gather your party
And I
before venturing
believe,
forth.
yes, we're equipped with the right selection of equipment.
You
Brilliant.
must gather your party before venturing forth.
Now we're going to order the group to get to this location here. There's a bit of area shrouded in shadow, and that leads to the Kuatoan tunnels. And just like in the Beholder tunnels, it's not just going to be Kuatoa that we're going to encounter there. We're also going to encounter some Beholders, at the very least. Though this is a dungeon that I'm not too familiar with, because I don't often go into this dungeon. I typically only go into 1, maybe 2 of them when I play through the game, and it's definitely not the Kuatoa one. However, we have a very important reason for doing this, and that is the Hammer of Thunderbolts that Corgan is holding on to. We need that to be upgraded, and to get it upgraded, we need to go into the Kuatoan tunnels.
Whatever.
So off we go.
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
That we must. Now there are going to be some traps here, but the first problem we have to deal with is which way to go. And this symbol should be a warning that there is a dangerous thing this way. And what danger is there? It is a Beholder and 2 Gorths that call this place home. Fortunately for us, we have Corgan and the Shield of Bolderon, which will more than readily take care of all of these enemies. We'll deal with escort first, and then we'll take care of the other Gorth, and then we'll finish off the Beholder. Try as you might, all of your beam attacks are going to do nothing. And you are on our side right now. I don't want you to be on our side. I want to have you dealt with, because I don't want you to surprise us later. There we go. Nice amount of experience. Let's move on. The next place we want to go to is, I think, over here. Yes, over here. If we go into this room, we shall encounter a score of Kuatoa. We want to focus on the Kuatoan wizard first, and then we will take care of the monitor, and finally the whip, and then the various lieutenants. The wizard needs to be dispatched first, mainly because of things like the fact that Terry Coleman has been held, and we want to make sure she doesn't fall here. But since we took care of... oh, was that a hit against Terry? That was a hit against Terry. You need healing? You're going to need a lot more than that, considering what you just did. You're going to need someone to resurrect you. But no one is going to, because everybody is about to perish. And there we go. Marvellous. Now let's get the rest of the party in. There are no traps here. We need to deal with the fact that you are held, but we can do that by just waiting. Besides, we have to get you to pick up absolutely everything here that needs identifying, and we'll get you to pick up all of the gems. Brilliant. You can put them in there, and I think Terry is back in the room, as it were. Kuatoan bolts, you can have them. Kuatoan bolts, you can have them. Marvellous. That was some pretty fine work there. Now let's look at these. Tainted tadpoles swim in this pool. You may take some if you wish. And we will. We're actually going to take a lot of these. I do remember this part. And this isn't essential, but it can be helpful. Let's look at these tadpoles. These are the Kuatoan tadpoles taken from the corrupted birthing pool. They appear to be diseased and were most likely placed here to avoid corrupting the healthy tadpoles. If such a thing were done, the adult Kuatoans would be weakened. Something to keep in mind. Now let us go over here. And be mindful that we haven't found any traps yet. There are going to be some, and we're not going to go this way, we're going to go this way, because we see another one of these symbols.
Yes, yes, yes.
We'll
I
have
see what is it
you
now.
be invisible.
That's the best you can make. Certainly.
Trap? I'm pretty sure there's one nearby. No? I'm very sure there's one nearby. In fact, I'm pretty sure I know what the trap is, so we're going to remove these and we're going to switch over the fire-resistant equipment. Like so. Which will then put your fire resistance up to a large amount, 90%.
I'm waiting.
Move forward.
To it.
And of course, it hits Hexat. Of course, I thought it would hit Terry. Nope. Game goes, ah, you think you're going to be smart, eh? Take this. And then Hexat gets hit by that. But that's not too terrible, I suppose, considering the fact that you will slowly regenerate that. And I think it only hits once. Yes, it only hits once. Which leads to here. This is a very important room. It's also a very dangerous one. There are shelves. I don't think the shelves have anything interesting on them. And there's a very low value gem. And that. An inscription on the demonic statue reads, "Place an animal sacrifice before great Demogorgon and awaken his children from their long sleep." If you're thinking that this is a terrible idea, you are absolutely right. This is an awful, awful plan. But we're going to do it anyway, because this gives us a lot of really important goodies.
Go bother someone
Now let's see if we can actually get what I need from the Summon Monster 1. Can't answer is... that's not quite what I
I'm busy,
need.
Okay, I'm busy.
I need animals. Can I have an animal here? That's not an animal either. This is actually something I need to make sure happens, so I'm going to load it up. Otherwise, we're just going to continuously keep resting, and we don't have the time for that. So, let's try again. That's an animal. Okay, that is an animal. We can work with that. We can work with that. Okay.
Be quick with it.
You need to simulacrum. You need to start casting the negative plane protection. That could work. Actually, we want you to cast... where's Death Ward? Death Ward seems good. Death Ward seems great.
I'm busy.
We also
okay, I'm
want
busy.
to summon up a couple of skeletons. There we go.
Yes, it is.
We need protection from evil. Most certainly. Where is that? It's
Have
here.
nothing else to do but bother me.
We need another skeleton. And a bless.
Be quick with it.
You need to berserk.
What do you want, groundling?
You need to
What do
berserk.
you want, groundling?
Yes,
And then,
master.
once
What
we
should I
have
fetch now?
improved haste on you,
Yes.
and then haste on everyone else, we shall move the org onto that and hope that that will actually do it. If it doesn't, this is not going
What is
to
it
end
now?
well, as in we'll have to try again. The sacrifice has been fulfilled. Ready yourselves. We need one melee fighter for each of these.
What would very well.
There are a few of them. Here they are! We have a Demon Knight, Demon Knight, Demon Knights everywhere. We need to defeat all of them as soon as we can. Okay, you're gonna start firing arrows here, sling bullets here.
Go bother someone else.
You know what we could do? We could have another Edwin. That seems like a good plan. Do it.
See what you're good with.
Let's see what happens. Okay, that's one taken care of.
I'm busy.
There's
okay,
Edwin
I'm
number
busy.
2. You can, or is that Edwin number 1?
Yes.
That's Edwin number 2, isn't it? Actually, I don't know which one's Edwin number 2. Either way, one of the Demon Knights has been taken care of. Let us now just start dealing with this Demon Knight here.
What is it now?
This is actually going a little bit better than I thought it would. Go. That's nearly all of them taken care of, actually. And that's the last one.
Bark your orders already.
That went much better than I thought it would. So what do we get for our troubles?
Master.
We get a
What should I
small
fetch
pile
now?
of swords. And
Yes.
armor. And various other...
I prefer to
Let's,
What is it now?
you definitely are holding on to these. Yes, you are.
I'm busy.
Good,
okay,
good,
I'm
good.
busy. Go.
Didn't want you
Nothing
to...
else
Oh, yes,
do
you're
but
incumbent.
bother
That's
me.
why you can't
What's
move.
the best
I was going to have you
place?
check to see if there was anything else,
Most
but
unpleasant
there is nothing.
memories.
we wanted to do that to defeat the
Master,
Demon Knight so
what
that we
should
could
I
get all
fetch
these
now?
goodies. The two-handed swords plus 1, they are not especially valuable. And by not especially valuable, I
just
mean
can't carry
they
anymore.
are entirely worthless to us.
Dear.
So they go into the bag. That went very well. I remember that being a lot trickier, but then again I think I was probably far lower level as well. I probably was. Into the bag, into the bag. These. This is full plate mail we cannot actually identify. It's Armour of the Heart plus 3. Few suits of armour in all the realms are the equal of this full plate. All that remains of the origin of the heart are folk tales and legends. The most popular of these is that an impossible battle was once fought against an army of orcs surging through the Three Trees Pass. Arngor of the Oak led the armies of men and elves, and it is said that he duelled with the orc commander till the sun set, and the land was bathed in a bloody mist. Finally the orc fell, but Arngor had sustained wounds too vast for any to save him. His blood soaked through the armour he wore, infusing it with his courage and nobility. Thus the armour of the heart became known to men. Armour class -2. For reference, if we were to go and find our suit of armour that we like wearing, this is armour class -1. This armour is actually better than what we're currently wearing outside of the Underdark. It's not as good as the Drow plate, but it's quite a bit better than the plate of Balderun. We'll put this in the bag. That's not the bag. That's the bag. Then we have Soul Reaver +4. A social faux pas placed upstart Andor Lycan in a duel with Baron Irk, heir to a warrior king. Though they seemed of even skill, Andor grew oddly weaker with each hit of the Baron's family blade. Panicking, he bade his bodyguards kill Irk. Despite his claims of morality, some noted that the young noble had positioned his men before the duel was even underway, and though he professed disdain for its dark magic, Andor made a tiny fortune off the sale of the evil blade. Each hit made by the target receives a cumulative 2-point penalty to their Thaco for 2 turns. It's a weapon with a very powerful ability in that Thaco reduction adds up fast. But this is not the reason why we did this. No, this is the Girdle of Frost Giant Strength. This belt is actually the woven hair from a frost giant's beard. When worn, the belt greatly increases the wearer's strength, making her as strong as a frost giant. This thing, oh this thing, strength 21 when we use it. That is exceptionally awesome. We're not going to have it for as long as I'd like, but while we have it, while we have it, we will have strength 21.
What is it now?
And it will be amazing, because this means we deal a lot more damage. As for who's going to use this for now, we'll have you use it. Why not? Might as well give you a few more positive modifiers, and we can put this in the bag. We're not going to sell it, because we will end up not keeping the girdle once we're out of the Underdark and have access to Athkatla once more. For this is, if we check a item that we got quite a while ago, we'd need to, the Crom Faeyr scroll, we need a Hammer of Thunderbolts, Gauntlets of Ogre Power, and a Girdle of Frost Giant Strength. And if we check this here, we have the Gauntlets of Ogre Power, we have a Girdle of Frost Giant Strength, and the Hammer of Thunderbolts. Combined with that scroll means that we can make an exceptionally awesome weapon. Eventually. But not right now. And so, when we come back, folks, we'll finish exploring this dungeon, and then we will go back to the city of Usnatha and carry on the main quest. This could have been tricky, but even if it was, it's definitely worth it. Oh, for Korgan, it is so worth it. Later.